So it's that kind of showstopper right at the end. They get to see the real trophies, which the champions get to hold aloft when they win here at Wimbledon. So yes, very popular.
You've got your gloves on.
Yes.
I haven't, so I'm not going to go anywhere near touching them. Perhaps we could start with this one in particular, the Venus Rosewater dish, because this is one of the most famous in all sports. What's the origination of this particular trophy?
Yeah, it is beautiful, and it is known as the Venus Rosewater dish or the Rosewater dish because it's got lots of goddesses which are displayed on it. In the middle is not actually Venus, it's Temperance, and then around her we have earth, wind, fire and water are represented, and then around the outside rim Minerva looks over the 7 liberal arts. And it's based on a much older design from the 17th century. It's a copy of a copy, but when it was made by Elkington in 1886, that was the height of modernity to make trophies like these. But we bought it in 1886, but those people who know a lot about Wimbledon history will know that actually there were 2 champions before that. They didn't get to hold this, unfortunately. They got to pick their own prize. But from 1886, yes, this is what the champions got to hold aloft.
And where do all the names go? Because obviously this dish has been in existence for such a long time, and more champions each passing year, each passing decade. Where did you put all the names?
They did start engraving in 1886 when it was first awarded to Blanche Bingley, and they did decide very nicely to put Maud Watson, the previous winner for the last 2 years, on, which was nice. But they did run out of room on the front, so we did move to the back of the dish. So if you come and visit, you must look at the back of the dish as well. And then we have also had to have this wonderful, amazing plinth made, and so the champions now do get engraved on the plinth, not on the dish itself.
What are the protocols involved when the champion wins and lifts the dish? Does someone instruct the champions as to what they can and can't do with it?
Well, obviously they've got a lot of people from the club around them, like looking after them in that very important moment. So at that point, like usually, so it comes back to us so that we can make sure that we're engraving the right engravings on the plinth.
How long is the time that the champion's allowed to have the trophy once they've won it?
Not a huge amount of time, but actually it was really lovely in 2019 because Simona Halep came back the following day and she did a photo shoot with the dish on court and with her name on the honours board. So yes, I think we're flexible if champions wish to have a bit more time with it.
Let's talk a little bit about the gentlemen's singles. And I'm going to start with the thing that a lot of people notice above everything else, which is the pineapple atop. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, the pineapple was a really popular motif in sort of Victorian England, and so this trophy was first awarded in 1887, and it was sort of a sign of luxury, so it's quite apt that it would be on this wonderful gold shining trophy, really.
And how did this particular trophy come into creation? Because I believe the first trophy for the gentlemen's singles was the Field Cup, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. So this is the Field Cup here, this silver cup. And in the beginning, the rule was that if you won the championships 3 years in a row, you got to take the cup home. So that's what William Renshaw did. In 1883, he got to take this home, but we're really lucky in that we now have this in the museum, so people can come and see the first trophy that was awarded at the first championships in 1877.
So, in fairness, William Renshaw actually, he took advantage of the situation because he won it 3 times, took that trophy, and then he won it again 3 times in a row.
Yeah, so straight after he won this 3 times, he then took the second Challenge Cup home, which we don't have here, unfortunately, but then the club was getting a bit wise to this, and so they rewrote the rules and said that this trophy would be a perpetual trophy and would never become the property of the winner.
What do the champions take home?
After the war that we started awarding replicas so that they could take something home, obviously to cherish and remind them of their victory. So from 1949 they took home these smaller replicas you can see at the front there. But then in 2007 we had to think about that and we thought that we could maybe make it a bit grander. So we moved up to a 3/4 size replica. And it is quite nice because it means that we can engrave all the names of all the champions on the trophy. So you'll see with the smaller ones, they don't have any engravings on them. So, but the 3/4 size replicas are proper exact replicas of the larger ones. And these are actually all individually made. They're individually made by hand by these amazing craftspeople. They're a real labour of love, these trophies that just, they're miniature works of art in themselves.
There was a lovely poignant moment last year when Rod Laver received his replica in the Royal Box. How did that all come about?
Yeah, so he already had so this size of replica here, and actually he's been very kind and lent this particular one to us that we've had on display this year to celebrate his amazing achievement in 1969. The chairman decided that it would be a wonderful opportunity to award him a 3/4 size replica as well, and that was a decision taken by all of the Grand Slams that year to honour Rod with something special.
Are there any other past champions that might be calling up the club saying, can we have a replica?
I mean, it's always a possibility, but I think that decision would be taken by the chairman.
Can we move on and talk about the doubles trophies? So we'll start with the men's and the story behind this one.
Yeah, so the gentlemen's doubles is the oldest doubles competition at the championships. So that came in the same year as the ladies' singles championship, so in 1884. And at the time, Oxford University, they weren't getting so many competitors for their championship, so they actually donated that cup there that you're looking at to us to reuse. And that happened a lot actually in the Victorian times. Trophies would get recycled and reused, which is actually quite nice, I think. So there is reference to the Oxford University on the gentlemen's doubles.
And next to it, obviously, we've got the mixed doubles and the ladies' doubles. Again,
Yes.
Where did they come from? Who offered them up first of all?
Yeah, so we had the first of those particular events in 1913, but then during the Second World War, unfortunately, the trophies were lost. So these both date from 1949. So the Duchess of Kent donated the ladies' doubles trophy to us, which is very kind. And then the other one was a donation from a past champion as well.
Am I right in thinking that some of the trophies were lost during the Second World War?
Yes, so the original ladies' doubles and mixed doubles were bombed during the Second World War. I think it was in 1941.
Right.
So we lost those, and we don't actually have any details about what those looked like either. So these were new in 1949. But much more recently, in 2001, we got companion trophies we made for the ladies' doubles and the mixed doubles, so that each of the champions, when they're awarded it, can have a picture with the trophy, which is really nice. So,
I think that would have gone down quite well. Now, just tell me about the value of what we've got in front of us here.
I mean, it is really priceless, isn't it? I mean, we're so lucky to have these unique objects, and so much of their value is in the stories around them, and, you know, the fact that we know that they've been here for such a long period of time, and they're just